It's all about rain in the forecast, potentially heavy rain, and it begins tonight.
We're learning new details today about what could be next for the former Marsh store in Broad Ripple.
For the kids who can't afford it, it's going to give them an opportunity to afford it. I was one of those people.
A new partnership will help students all across the state pay for college. We are digging into how it works.
This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Now at 5, take a look at those temperatures. 50s now. About 24 hours ago, we were in the 30s.
A nice afternoon to get outside, and while the wind and the temperatures are up, the chances for rain are climbing, potentially heavy rain.
Storm Team 6 Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is tracking that on this Storm Team 6 alert day. Kevin?
And we've got a lot of topics to cover, and this is really for the next 48 hours that we'll see this heavy rainfall potential, strong wind gusts. I think the winds will peak on Saturday. Near record temperatures. Our closest March to record temperatures will come during the day tomorrow. Record high is 62. We have some rain in the state. It's a thin line from just west of Greencastle through Crawfordsville up toward Clinton County, Frankfort, and then just west of Kokomo and Peru. Moving quickly from southwest to northeast, it will take quite a while for that to move into the eastern portion of the state. So between now and 11, I think most of the rain in the western half. 54 degrees, that is significant. 35 is our average high. That wind is howling. We've had gusts over 40. For example, Champaign is a 41-mile-per-hour gust. In central Indiana, anywhere from 25 to 30-mile-per-hour winds. The rain chances will increase in the metro area between now and 10 o'clock. Rain moves in. Temperatures are really not going to change much at all. They'll stay in the 40s. 7 o'clock, light showers around. By the time we get to 11, more pronounced rainfall. Some of this a little bit heavier from Crawfordsville to the metro area onto Muncie. We'll see this slide to the east and wake up with pockets of rain, some of it heavy first thing in the morning. We've got to finish all of Friday, talk about Saturday, and the changes for Sunday, all still ahead.
Tonight, RTV6 is bringing you answers on a shuttered marsh that's been sitting vacant on the north side for years.
And it's been targeted by some unwanted visitors, and neighbors have now noticed an increased police presence.
Neither the county nor the developer could tell us what's going on, but Megan Sanctorum found out who plans to make a home there at some point.
You could see crews working inside of this building today. It's a welcome sign of progress for people who live and work in this area. It's a large building on a busy corner, but for years, it's looked like this. Neighbors tell us the vacant property has attracted crime and vandalism, but the future could look much different. RTV6 has learned that Traders Point Christian Church purchased the building. Church leaders say they'll announce how they plan to use it later this month. According to their website, the church is expanding to Broad Ripple this year, and they will operate out of a nearby temporary location until additional plans are finalized. We talked to people at the hardware store across the street. They tell us they're ready for any kind of redevelopment.
Anything, as long as it's occupied, is going to be an asset. That's going to bring a lot of new people to this neighborhood that don't normally come to this neighborhood. So that's great.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
And this is one of several former Marsh stores that closed in the last few years after the grocery store chain went bankrupt. We will have additional details on this story tonight at 6, including what the newly elected city county councilor for Broad Ripple has to say about the property.
Metro Police are investigating a double homicide on the city's northeast side tonight. A man and woman were found dead in a vehicle on the 4500 block of North Irwin Drive around 11 a.m. This is near Irwin and 45th Street. Now, police say the injuries are consistent with being shot, but investigators can't say for sure that's how they died. These mark the 6th and 7th homicides of the new year.
Obviously, we are 9 days in the year, and it's troubling. It's disappointing to live in our city, and we love our city, to see that this type of crimes are occurring in our city. I think the biggest thing here is that there's several different resources. There are places that people can go to for said help, and I think it's important that we as a community stand together and we can try to figure out this stuff.
Investigators say if you have any information about this case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS.
And Call 6 Investigates has uncovered new information about the location where a deadly crash happened on I-65 Sunday. The crash happened at mile marker 130 in Whitestown, a part of Boone County known for traffic congestion. New numbers obtained by Call 6 Investigates show 10 crashes and 2 injuries happened at that location in the last year. Since INDOT added a lane in 2011, motorists have been involved in 70 crashes, resulting in 15 injuries. These numbers do not include this past weekend's deadly crash. A semi-truck driver is accused of slamming into stop traffic, killing 2 people and a child. And here's a look at the numbers from the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute. In 2015, the interchange had 2 crashes. In 2016, 8 collisions. In 2017, 3 wrecks reported in that area. 2018 saw another 10 accidents. And in 2019, 10 crashes were reported. Dozens of people were injured in these incidents. And the U.S. government is sending a special crash team to Indiana to investigate a deadly crash involving a Tesla electric vehicle. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration said its team will check the crash scene and inspect the Model 3 involved in the December 29th crash with a parked fire truck on I-70 near Terre Haute. The crash killed the driver's wife, who was a passenger in the Tesla.
Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's initiative to connect you to jobs, training, and resources. Tonight, we are digging into a new statewide alliance just announced today between McDonald's and Ivy Tech. As RTV6's Nicole Griffin is finding out, the partnership will help thousands of students pay for college.
The entire goal of this new alliance is to make college more affordable. Employees here at McDonald's who have worked just 90 days at 15 hours per week can get up to $2,500 in tuition assistance.
This is the very definition of a win-win-win-win.
A new alliance between McDonald's and Ivy Tech will help send thousands of students to college at more than 18 Ivy Tech campuses across the state. It's all centered around McDonald's Archways to Opportunity initiative. Naomi Craven is a McDonald's employee and has been for 16 years. She recently graduated from Ivy Tech in Sellersburg with the help of tuition assistance from McDonald's.
I want to be able to finish. I know I wouldn't be able to. It means everything to me to be able to go and finish. For anybody that needs this or doesn't have the opportunity or the money, I definitely would say this is for real. I mean, they're giving you free money. Why would you not take it?
The Archways to Opportunity program has been in place for 5 years in Indiana. It's provided more than $1.2 million in tuition to students to attend any college. The difference now is the partnership between Ivy Tech and McDonald's.
They know that they're a best first job and they're helping their employees to pursue great careers, and that's where we fit. Ivy Tech has 40 locations across the state of Indiana, 100,000 students. McDonald's has many, many McDonald's across the state of Indiana. This is a true win-win to have a way that students can pursue their career dreams while working at McDonald's.
Ivy Tech will have counselors at each location to work directly with McDonald's employees. They will help determine which of their McDonald's training and work experiences may transfer into credits, which they can then apply toward their degree. Managers can earn up to $3,000 per year in tuition assistance. Both McDonald's and Ivy Tech expect the new partnership to result in new employees and students looking to both further their education and ultimately achieve their dreams.
Very much.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Well, if you are a McDonald's employee who is looking to take advantage of this program, classes start Monday. Campus leaders we talked to today say that you still have time to enroll. Otherwise, the next 8 weeks of classes start in March.
Democrats in the Indiana Senate are trying to get pay raises for teachers this school year. One new proposal would put $100 million into the pockets of teachers across the state in each of the next 2 years, using unexpected extra revenue the state received. Another proposal is a long-term idea where some payments to the teacher retirement fund would not come from the state's general fund. This would free up $100 million a year for teacher pay increases. Republicans in the State House have said they are not opening up the budget this year for teacher pay, but they are discussing using excess revenue for paying off some debts.
Well, which do you think is more important, paying cash down on those type of projects, or is it to make sure that our teachers are fairly paid and that they're done so this year? So that's a hollow, false type of an argument to be made.
Most, if not all, of the budget work is done in the odd year legislative sessions, such as last year and in 2021. Ahead tonight on the Now Indy at 5:30, one cable company says it is now getting out of the home security business. And that leaves plenty of Hoosier homeowners high and dry when it comes to the program they are now paying for.
And just ahead, add another one to the list. Following the closure of the Macy's store in Indianapolis's Glendale neighborhood, we've learned the company is closing another location in our viewing area, and that means sales are coming.
And rain arriving tonight, not ending till Saturday night. Here's some of the forecasted rainfall potential. And keep in mind, we may have a few thunderstorms as well.
Learn more at GVOKGlucagon.com.
Tonight, both U.S. and Canadian officials say it is highly likely that an Iranian aircraft missile downed a Ukrainian jetliner late Tuesday in Tehran, killing all 76 people on board. President Trump is suggesting he believes Iran was responsible. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, whose country lost at least 63 citizens in the crash, said evidence indicates the plane was struck by a surface-to-air missile, and he says it may have not been intentional. We now turn to Capitol Hill, where Congress is taking up the vote on a resolution to limit the president's war powers. Democrats are outraged over the president's order to kill a top Iranian general, and meanwhile, the president today defended that order. ABC's Rachel Scott reports.
As President Trump appears to halt further military action against Iran, House Democrats are now trying to limit his ability to act unilaterally again.
The president to say, I inform you by reading my tweets. No, that's not the relationship that our founders had in mind.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi putting a resolution on the floor, directing the president to get congressional approval before using military action to strike Iran, making an exception only in cases where the U.S. is defending itself from an imminent and armed attack.
We did it because they were looking to blow up our embassy. We also did it for other reasons that were very obvious.
But President Trump says he will only consult Congress on a case-by-case basis. Speaking to reporters at the White House, the president defended his decision to kill Iran's top commander, Qasem Soleimani. But the White House has not released any evidence to the public that Soleimani presented an imminent threat. And some lawmakers who received a closed-door classified briefing left dissatisfied.
Probably the worst briefing I've seen, at least on a military issue, in the 9 years I've served in the United States Senate.
President Trump brushing off that rare criticism from a member of his own party.
I had calls from numerous senators and numerous congressmen and women saying it was the greatest presentation they've ever had.
The president ramping up economic pressure on Iran with fresh sanctions after the regime launched 16 missiles at 2 bases where American troops are stationed. An early warning system allowed American troops to scramble into their bunkers prior to the attack, resulting in no casualties for U.S. or coalition forces. And Iranian officials say they were ready to fire hundreds of missiles in that counterattack. While the Trump administration says the regime appears to be standing down, they still insist they pose a very real threat. Rachel Scott, ABC News, Washington.
And right now on Monument Circle, you're looking live at activists taking part in a nationwide movement today opposing escalation of war with Iran. This is a silent demonstration. They're making their no war message very visible with the signs that you see there on the screen. They're urging restraint by the Trump administration and calling on the U.S. to avoid a costly war in the Middle East. This demonstration goes until 7 o'clock.
Another Macy's store is closing in Indiana. The retailer confirmed today will be closing its store at the Muncie Mall. It is the only store listed in the latest round of closures, which number about 30 according to published reports. A clearance sale will begin this month and will run for about 8 to 12 weeks, and then the store will close. A spokesperson released a statement that said in part, quote, the decision to close a store is always a difficult one, but Macy's is proud to have served the Muncie community for over the past 24 years. There are still Macy's at Castleton Square and Greenwood Park malls. And the wet and warm weather headed our way means some schedule adjustments for this weekend's Festival of Ice in Carmel. Tomorrow, there will still be ice carving from 4 to 8 p.m. on Main Street. All Saturday activities are canceled. And on Sunday, there's a full day. The ice carving competition will take place from 9 to noon. The quick carve off is from 1 to 4, and the winners will be announced at 4. While all that is going on, the Carmel Fire Department will have its chili cook-off from noon to 3. And another change due to weather. The Circle of Lights were due to come down from Monument Circle on Saturday, but learned today from downtown Indy that will not be happening. So you have another week to enjoy the colorful glow. They are scheduled to be removed on January 18th. I'm not too disappointed about that. I do enjoy seeing it at night.
It is pretty in the middle of the city there. It's nice to see, yeah.
And it's not just about the rain that will be a problem toward removing that. It's a 50-mile-per-hour wind gust.
Yeah, that can be dangerous for the workers.
So we'll wait and see what happens a week from Saturday. Let's talk about this evening. Our rain chances rising as we speak. Now, I know it's raining in portions of the viewing area. Most of us remain dry, but that changes when we get together tonight at 11 o'clock. Should have fairly widespread rainfall. There are the showers between Greencastle, Crawfordsville, cutting through Boone County now, then over toward Clinton, in Clinton County, Frankfort, toward Kokomo and Peru. Temperatures statewide, coolest in the northeast, but look what's happening. We're pushing the cool air out of the state, replacing it with warm, moist air. That's going nowhere until Saturday night. This strong wind out of the south will continue to transport in not only the mild temperatures near record warmth, as a matter of fact, but also deeper moisture. Say hello to Barley. I love it. David having some fun here. That is his cat, Barley, on a turntable.
I was wondering what he was sitting on.
Cat scratch fever, he said. There you go. All right, Barley. Sorry, no walk for you. It's raining. Cats don't like water, right? So he'll stay indoors tonight. He'll sit and spin right there. Temperatures will be in the 40s through the evening hours. As we look at 9 o'clock tonight, more rain with a little more intensity in western Indiana. Kind of expands on a west to east basis. Some pockets of heavier rain there. Then in the morning, you see just about any one spot may have rain as we start our day. We'll have breaks in the rain through the day tomorrow. The wind will be nearly constant and strong, gusting between 20 and 30 all day long. Will come close to a record high. 7 a.m. there are the rain showers. In the afternoon, may hear a rumble of thunder. These are hit and miss. I think what will really concentrate the rain will be the push of a cold front as we get to Saturday. Friday forecast, temperatures middle to upper 50s. The record set back in the 1970s is 62. We'll be at 64 Saturday. Rain and thunderstorms and strong winds gusting to 50 miles per hour. So it's not out of the question we could have isolated severe storms. 58-mile-per-hour gusts would meet that criteria. Then dramatically colder on Sunday. 7 a.m. Saturday, showers. There's the line of showers and thunderstorms that comes through between 10 and 1, then pushes off to the east. We'll still have some additional rainfall as the colder air filters in. We may mix that with some snow before it comes to an end. Look at the strong wind that we expect through the day on Saturday. Forecast is really more like a recipe. There's a lot going on. Periods of rain through Friday night. The heaviest rain probably in a 4 or 5 hour window Saturday. 64 degrees. That's the peak temperature. Much colder Sunday as we dry out Sunday, Monday. Notice what happens. Right back into the 50s Tuesday and Wednesday. That warmth represents another opportunity for rain.
All right. Kevin, thank you for that. Well, the Oscars are going hostless again this year. This will be the second straight year for this move. ABC Entertainment President Carrie Burke said the February 9th show here on RTV6 will focus on big musical numbers, comedy, and star power. And by the way, nominations will be announced Monday morning live during Good Morning America.
More concert plans are taking shape for this year. We learned today the Zac Brown Band will be coming to Ruoff Music Center in Noblesville on Friday, September 11th. Tickets go on sale for the Roar with the Lions tour a week from tomorrow, January 17th at 10 a.m.
Next, crime doesn't pay, but it can sure be exhausting. The burglar caught on camera who just had to take a break after breaking in to eat a big meal.
And Keller, right now.
Hello to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV, and we are covering two big trials for you today. First up, we're bringing you that breaking news from New York, where Judge James Burke says he is staying put on the Weinstein case. The judge denying the defense motion to ask the judge to recuse himself from the trial after Weinstein's attorney said that the judge made some comments about the defendant's phone use in court, and they argued his comments were biased. Well, movie mogul charged with 5 sex crimes against 2 different women, and Judge Burke will be the one presiding over the case. He denied that motion. We'll continue bringing you live updates from our New York studio. We're also in Southern Ohio for you as the prosecution is nearing the end of its case in chief against Daniel and Jessica Groves. The parents are accused of first-degree murder in the death of their infant son, baby Dillon last spring. They're also accused of putting his body in a well. This morning, the jury heard from volunteer firefighters who helped pump water out of that well to find his body. They also heard from the forensic pathologist who testified that the baby died from homicidal violence. He was wrapped in plastic bags and he was weighted down inside of a milk crate. Drugs were also found in his system, and if convicted, his parents could spend the rest of their lives in prison. As always, you can count on Court TV for live gavel-to-gavel coverage of all of America's most compelling criminal trials. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Julie, thank you. We've got a couple of stories from outside of Indiana that might get your friends and neighbors talking.
Let's start in Lawrenceville, Georgia, shortly after midnight on Christmas morning. Police are looking for the man who broke into a Taco Bell, prepared food, and took a nap during a burglary. And there's no question it happened because every step of the odyssey is captured on surveillance video. When he finally left after the 3-hour adventure, he took a laptop and tablet.
And his face is clearly on camera there. Now to Las Vegas. Firefighters discovered what they're describing as an illegal homemade gas station in a backyard. Las Vegas Fire and Rescue shared these pictures on Facebook. They're tanks in the corner of a yard with a gas pump nozzle on the end of a hose. The hose was long enough to reach to the street for possible curbside fill-ups. Well, police say it might be part of a trend involving people purchasing gas with stolen credit card information before emptying the fuel into storage containers at home.
All new at 6 p.m., lawmakers taking steps to help Indiana families who want to adopt children in need. How they plan to move roadblocks and improve the adoption process.
But first on the Now Indy, it survived nearly 150 years. What happened at the Bartholomew County Courthouse this week that destroyed a piece of history? You're watching RTV6.